I'm going to speak with you on the subject of a lawyer's defense of Christianity. There are two preliminary questions we want to deal with right away. First of all, why should anyone want to defend Christianity? And secondly, why anyone would want to know how a lawyer defends Christianity. In the December 21st issue of Maclean's magazine, an important scholarly source, as you know, the statement is made, quote, "Even in a multicultural society such as Canada's, Jesus continues to be a compelling personality nearly 2 millennia after his death," unquote. I have no idea what a multicultural society has to do with this, but there's no doubt about the fact that Jesus remains a compelling figure. He represents the longest biographical treatment in the Encyclopedia Britannica. Of all the people who have ever lived in history, he gets the longest treatment in that volume. Dorothy Sayers, the author of the Lord Peter Wimsey detective stories, did an essay some years ago in which she said, "I cannot understand why sermons are so dull and why in general churches are so dull. As a novelist, if I were given the kind of plot that you get in the Bible, I would be ecstatic because of the sheer power of it." The Bible tells that as a result of the hideous mess the human race has managed to make of itself, God in his love and grace came down to earth in the person of Jesus Christ for the sake of saving the people on this grubby little planet. Now, that kind of a plot, says Dorothy Sayers, is the sort of thing of which the greatest literary and dramatic works are made. And, of course, that's the reason why in the Western tradition, some of the very greatest cultural products that we have, probably the very greatest, center on Jesus Christ. And if his claims are correct, then not only time, but also eternity depends upon what we think of that particular individual. So, there's no doubt about the fact that this is a vitally important subject. It's not just important theoretically or in the abstract. It's vitally important for each individual. As Jesus said to people in his own time, "What do you think of Christ? What do you think of me?" And on that question hangs everything. But why should anyone be interested in a lawyer's case for Jesus Christ? Why not a dentist's case for Jesus Christ, for example? That's not a bad question. Dentists have a much higher evaluation on the part of the general public than lawyers. Last we heard, lawyers were placed at about the level of used car dealers in terms of the public perception of their ethics and their morality. In fact, I just heard that they are replacing rats with lawyers in medical experiments now. Don't know if you've heard this, but this is true for 3 reasons. First of all, there are more lawyers than rats. Secondly, the experimenters had a tendency to get to like rats in certain instances. And thirdly, there are things that even rats won't do. So why should anybody be interested in a lawyer's defense of Christianity? Well, the fact is that across the centuries, lawyers have been very much concerned with the question as to the truth of Christianity. And many lawyers and legal scholars have become Christian on the basis of the evidence in its behalf. Thus, if you go back to the 17th century, you have Sir Matthew Hale, who was Lord Chief Justice in the reign of Charles I. Hale writes about how he considered the evidence for Christian faith and became a Christian because he was compelled by that evidence. Or go to Blackstone's commentaries. If you want to check at the law school, the Blackstone's commentaries is very much like Gibbon's Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. Everyone speaks as if he had read it, and no one has read it. The lawyers have not read it at all. They'll refer to it, but they haven't read it. Blackstone's commentaries, the first great
Sample complete. Ready to continue?